So I just want to welcome Nick Damianos, who is here from Damianos Sotheby's International Realty in the Bahamas. And Nick, welcome. Tell us a little bit, if you can, about, and I'm sure you will, about the market before coronavirus. Remember a month and a half, 2 months ago?
Yeah, it's hard to remember those times. Yeah, so prior to the coronavirus affecting us all over the world, the market in the Bahamas had been chugging along quite well. We had a stellar year in 2019, and that seemed to continue over into 2020. Everything seemed to be going well, and then all of a sudden people started getting sick.
Yeah. Have you had a lot of people sick in the Bahamas right now, or?
No, thankfully, we have only about 60 confirmed cases and 8 deaths
Wow.
so far, which I suppose is more than you'd like, but also a lot less.
Yeah. Now, tell me. So let's go back into your normal market. So what would be the starting price of a house? You're basically, a lot of it is tourists, a lot of it is second home. Friends of mine lived in Hope Town, and that was really hit by the hurricane. But tell me a little bit about what your normal market would be. What's the entry level pricing, and of, say, a very, a nice vacation home?
Okay. So in the Bahamas, we have many islands and different communities within the islands as well. So there's quite a broad range. If you're looking at what we call the family islands, being smaller islands that are outside of the capital of Nassau, sort of your entry level to a nice single family vacation home in a good area with access to the beach would probably be about $750,000.
750,000 US.
US dollars. Right?
Remember, we're Canadian here.
Yeah.
That puts it well over $1 million in Canadian funds. So I just sent some money to the States yesterday for a membership, and I was looking at the conversion. I'm going, oh my God.
And one-to-one interchangeable within the Bahamas.
Oh, and that always stays that way.
Correct. So the Bahamas sort of uses U.S. currency as its gold reserve, gold standard.
Right.
So we keep a certain level of reserves of U.S. dollars in order to maintain the one-to-one peg.
Yeah, that's great. So $750, $1 million is your entry level. So high end is way up there, right? You can buy your own island, I suppose.
Correct. So we have a huge sort of span of property prices here.
Yeah.
We go all the way up to 60, 70, $80 million, depending on what you're trying to buy.
I won't be buying an island very soon. I would like to buy an island to live on. So tell me about coronavirus. You sent out a message yesterday, and it basically detailed a lot of the coronavirus protocols, and they're pretty stringent. I mean, I guess being an island, the idea is that you do have a lot more control over access.
Correct. So our borders have been closed for about a month now. So we've not gotten any new people into the country. Therefore, it's much easier to control than the United States or Canada or something like that. So we've had pretty strict lockdown, stay-at-home orders to date, and they've actually just started to be relaxed this week. So this week, for the first time, certain businesses are allowed to open on certain days of the week.
Yes.
And we expect that over the next 2 to 3 weeks, the government will be gradually easing restrictions and allowing more and more businesses to open in sort of a controlled rollout.
Now, are you experiencing any food shortages or toilet paper shortages or anything?
None whatsoever. So the food supply and supply of goods has pretty much been uninterrupted,
Yeah.
even though we import everything to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
We have not experienced any sort of shortages or breakdowns in the supply chain.
That's great. And tell me a little bit about your prime minister.
Yeah, our prime minister is a medical doctor, and for that reason, I think our government was very quick and aggressive in their
Yeah.
response. Obviously, the prime minister took it more seriously because he's a doctor and understood sort of the dangers of epidemic spread.
Yeah. Now, are you doing different kinds of marketing now that you are basically sheltering in place?
Yes. So our marketing, we've sort of eliminated the specific property marketing, touting new listings, things like
Yeah.
that, just because we feel it would fall on deaf ears, number one. Number two, we wouldn't be able to show the properties. So our marketing has pretty much been community outreach and sort of providing information to the community
Yes.
that is either useful or entertaining rather than trying to sell specific listings.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. It's always, you want to be the person who is there to listen to people, but you don't necessarily want to be the one to say list, sell, sell.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. And so what's your prognosis for the future? Coming out of this, do you think it's going to affect the economy in general?
Yeah, of course, I think it'll have a pretty significant impact on our economy, only because we rely so much on foreign investments.
Yes.
The major industry in the Bahamas is tourism. So until other countries like the United States have the virus under control in their countries, and the citizens of these countries start to feel comfortable traveling again and getting on planes, we're going to feel a pretty significant impact.
Yeah, I think it's going to affect all of us. We were having a discussion in our office today, and I've been in the business for 40 years, so I've been through a couple of recessions, and I can tell you, when you lose this many jobs, or these many people are going to be out of work over the next few months, there's no way that we're not going to go into a recession. There's no way.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think there still are going to be people who need to sell and people who need to buy. We have to be there for them. That's our job. But I don't think there's any way. You can't sugarcoat it with your clients. You've got to tell them, we have to be the best price if that's the issue. We have to be the best location if that's the issue. And we need, and if you need to sell in the next couple of years, you need to get the house ready and put it on the market as soon as we are able to show it. So are you doing a lot of video walkthroughs of properties? And
yeah, we are doing video walkthroughs, and we had even prior to the coronavirus outbreak, used Matterport quite a bit. So we had quite a library of virtual tours already in place.
Yeah, we should have bought shares in Matterport a couple of years ago when we first saw it, and everybody's going, I don't know about this thing. It's sure. But Matterport now seems to be what everybody's, their shares must be going up someplace.
I know, I wouldn't mind owning Zoom either.
No, Zoom, Pornhub, I think all of them. And by the way, again, congratulations! You're having a Messiah join you in July or June.
In June, we're expecting our first baby, and it's going to be a little girl, which we're absolutely thrilled about. Although I am a little bit worried about sort of going to a hospital in the middle of a pandemic, but the situation isn't bad in the Bahamas, so I'm
No, I think you're, as long as, I think the thing of having a prime minister who is health related and understands the problems that this can create, I think that's a big step. And I applaud both you and Bahamas and, for the things you're doing. I think it's really important to control as much as you can.
Absolutely, yeah. And we've heard that a few airlines, in particular, Delta Airlines, are planning to resume flights to the Bahamas in
Yeah.
mid-May. And
Yeah.
that, of course, is assuming that the government of the Bahamas reopens the borders, which
Yeah.
if things stay the way they are, they're likely to do that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of pent-up demand for that, but I think, I don't think you're going to get on an airplane over the next year or two without a mask on and just keep it on all the time you're there. I think, anytime you're in a situation like that, I'm very concerned about some of the things you hear in the US where they seem to be chomping at the bit to get the economy back. But it's a big worry if they jump on it too fast.
I know. I think the U.S. may be, in certain locations, they may be getting a little bit ahead of themselves. And so I expect that we will, the Bahamas may, to a certain extent, sort of restrict travelers from the United States. But we are very much looking forward to having our Canadian visitors back. Canada is a huge feeder market.
Yeah, it's true. And, I was a big proponent of Hopetown. I used to go there every year. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I mean, there's wonderful, those charming salt box houses and there, the fishing villages, and it's like another world. It really is. It's a wonderful place.
Yeah, in fact, the neighborhood that I live in, I would say about 30% of my neighborhood is Torontonians.
Yeah, and that's great. That's absolutely great. So anyways, I just want to say thank you again for taking the time to chat with us and for telling us about what's happening in the Bahamas and what's happening, and your family's good. Nick comes from, you have a large family, parents, grandparents, well.
Yeah, we've got an extended family that's all in the real estate business.
I know, yeah. Sort of like Trump, isn't it? I don't know. Anyways.
No, don't say that.
you're the Trumps of the Bahamas.
No, I don't welcome that comparison.
Anyways, Nick, thanks again. I really appreciate you chatting with us, and all the best. Stay safe, please. And I look forward to hearing and seeing photos of your daughter soon.
Happy to send them. Thanks so much for having me, Richard, and I look forward to seeing you sometime soon.
We gotta get on some of those conferences happening again. Talk to you soon.
Right.